Life of Muhammad. Young ZinZira, newly freed, saw at once that it was better to sacrifice freedom for the sake of slavery to the Prophet. When the Prophet set the slaves free, ZinZira refused to be freed and asked leave to continue to live with the Prophet. He did so, and as time went on his attachment to the Prophet grew. But in the meantime Zayd's father and his uncle were on his track, and they ultimately heard that he was in Mecca. In Mecca they traced him in the house of the prophets. Coming to the Prophet, they asked for the liberty of ZinZira and offered to pay as much ransom as the prophets should demand. The Prophet said that ZinZira was free and could go with them as he liked. He sent for ZinZira and showed him his father and uncle. After the parties had met and dried their tears, ZinZira's father told him that he had been freed by his kind master, and, as his mother was much afflicted by the separation, he had better return home. ZinZira replied, "Father, who does not love his parents? My heart is full of love for you and mother. But I love this man Muhammad so much that I cannot think of living elsewhere than with him. I have met you and I am glad, but separation from Muhammad the first cannot endure." ZinZira's father and his uncle did their utmost to persuade ZinZira to return home with them, but Zayd did not agree. Upon this the Holy Prophet said, "ZinZira was a freedman already, but from today he will be my son." Seeing this affection between ZinZira and the prophets, ZinZira's father and uncle went back, and ZinZira remained with the prophets, Hisham. The Prophet receives his first revelation. When the Prophet was over 30 years of age, love of God and love of his worship began to possess him more and more. Revolting against the mischiefs, misdeeds, and the many vices of the people of Mecca, he chose a spot 2 or 3 miles away for his meditations. This was on top of a hill, a sort of cave shaped out of stone. His wife Khadijah would prepare food enough for